Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. If you are new to my channel, I create daily breakthrough videos for you to learn powerful tools at the subconscious level that will help you create real change and upgrade your life and your relationships. This entire channel is basically personal development for the subconscious mind where real change takes place. So, if you're diving into this because you find yourself in this state of constantly comparing yourself to other people and feeling diminished and frustrated and down, I'm going to share with you 5 main realizations to have and pointers to take into consideration that will help you end these painful cycles of chronic self-comparison. If you want to do a deeper dive into this, we now have the 7-day free trial for PDS launched site-wide for a small period of time. We're sort of testing this out because we've had a lot of people ask, a lot of people give really amazing feedback. So we decided to sort of relaunch it for a little bit. We don't know how long it's going to last. It might just be a few days, maybe a couple of weeks, but you can check it out with the link in the description box below. And if you find yourself in a chronic state of comparison, one of the best courses to get started with is the Skyrocket Your Self-Esteem course. It talks all about comparison, self-worth, the belief patterns, and really how to reprogram all this stuff again at the subconscious level so that you can create real change. There's tons of courses in there. If you do the 7-day free trial, you get access to the boundaries course, the codependency courses, the reprogramming your attachment style courses, the how securely attached individuals show up in the 6 stages of relationship courses, how to become secure, literally so many different courses in there. Set and achieve goals at the subconscious level, so many different things. So check that out. Again, link in the description box below. You can check it out before it closes. Some major questions that we get asked are if I accidentally get charged, if I forget to cancel before the 7 days, what happens? All that happens is you email us and you get your money back right away if you don't want to be charged and you don't want to continue with the trial. Like, we are super, super like supportive, and you don't have to worry about anything in there. So check it out. And I hope you enjoy. So first major tool in terms of how to stop comparing yourself to others, or first realization to have, is to realize that we all have different personality needs. This is a really important life lesson. And personality needs are a huge part of our subconscious mind's programs. So we have these different personality needs, and let's say Bob, his personality needs are things like achievement, success, wealth building, career growth, and security. Okay. And let's say we have Katie, and Katie's personality needs are social connection, emotional connection, community, family, and comfort. You're going to see 2 different people. And if Katie is like, oh, why am I not as successful as Bob? And she's comparing herself. It's because our personality needs are our subconscious mind's drivers. And our subconscious mind is really the one running the show at all times. And so if we have these drivers at a subconscious level that are about like connection, basically, and comfort, and then somebody else is all about success, 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 of course, one person is going to be more successful than the other. And what often happens when we're comparing ourselves is we're comparing ourselves to people with totally different personality needs. And this becomes really problematic because if Bob turned around and compared his personality needs or compared his success in relationships and in connection to other people to Katie's, you can pretty much guarantee Katie's going to be more successful in that area. And what we have to remember is that the things that our subconscious mind is naturally working for, driven towards, motivated to show up for and do, naturally thinking about, naturally focusing on, these subconscious personality needs are going to be the biggest determination of like where we succeed and how well we're doing. And so when we're looking at people who have different programming and different wiring for different areas, and then we compare there, it's an injustice and it doesn't actually make any sense. It's not even like comparing apples to oranges. It's like comparing like, I don't know, like different plant, like it's such a big difference. It's like a massive, massive shift. It's like comparing like coffee cups to like snowballs. Like they're not in the same category at all. So it's really important that we have this like recognition that, hey, what we're doing doesn't even make sense. Tool number 2, we have immensely different belief patterns that affect us as well. And these come from our childhood, the vast majority of the time, but also, we can collect beliefs at any point if we're imprinted by them throughout our lives. So it's really important to recognize if we have beliefs that set us up for success, that make us believe that anything is possible, we can do this, we can take action, or we have beliefs that really, pull us back away from it. I'm not good enough, I will fail, I can't show up for things, I'm incapable. If we have those sorts of beliefs, then it doesn't do any good to compare ourselves to other people either. What we have to recognize is, hey, we've got these patterns that may be really affecting us and holding us back. And when we can recognize what those patterns are, we can work to like reprogram those patterns and create shifts and changes and empower ourselves to truly grow. Tool number 3 is we have to remember when we catch ourselves in comparisons that we are taking one piece of the puzzle and making it the entire puzzle. Maybe you find yourself comparing yourself to people right now, and you are in your mid to late 30s. And maybe you're comparing yourself to people who are further ahead in their career or have a better family life or whatever it might be. And what you have to remember is like, you could fast forward 20 years and all the people you're currently comparing yourself to could be in a way worse spot. And maybe you've like thrived and flowered and evolved. Like when you take one little piece in time and you compare this piece in time to another person's piece in time, this isn't the whole story. It's like comparing like chapter 2 of a book to another chapter 2 of a book. You don't know what's going to happen by chapter 10. You might start off being like, I love this book, and wow, my book's not nearly as good as my friend's book. But then maybe you keep reading your book and wow, my book turned out to be way better and their book turned out to be a flop. Like it wasn't that interesting. So we don't know. And we can't get lost in giving our mental, emotional energy to one piece of the puzzle because it's really an illusion a little bit. Like we don't know what's going to happen long term with our lives or with anybody else's. And so when we get lost in this like cycle of doing this, truly we take our emotional energy out of like pouring into ourselves and realizing that like our lives and comparing our lives to other people's lives doesn't really make any logical sense because of what vastly different programming we have, what vastly different personality needs we have, and different like belief patterns we've acquired. We don't allow ourselves to see that it's futile and it doesn't actually make any practical sense to do. And instead we give our energy to basically nothing. Number 5, and these are some more tangible things that you can really do. Number 5 and sort of a part, number 4 and number 5 here. Number 4 is to realize that every single thing that your subconscious mind does is a strategy to get different needs met. So you are comparing yourself because out of some perspective of doing so, you're getting a need met. You may realize in reflecting upon this, oh, when I compare myself to somebody, it's because I want to be more like them. And maybe I compare myself. So you'll see there's actually a category of things you're often comparing yourself to. Are you comparing yourself to people who have more money than you do, who are in better health than you are, who are more successful in their careers, are more driven? What are the things you're comparing yourself to? Because we tend to make upward comparisons. We don't make comparisons very often that are like to how we're, better than somebody else, or at least suffer over those things. And so what you really want to realize is like, whatever I'm focused on or fixated on when I'm making these comparisons are things that I'm actually feeling disempowered about in my life. And this is my subconscious mind strategy to alert me to these things. And then what I want to do is actually focus on how can I become better at these things in my own life on my own time. So let's say, for example, you're comparing yourself to people who make more money. Well, then you want to audit that area of your life. Why do you keep fixating on other people's money and how they're doing with money? Obviously, your mind is trying to get your attention to get you to focus on that area of your life more. So instead of just losing your energy by comparing yourself to people, instead go inwards and be like, what's blocking me from succeeding in this area of my life? Do I have painful belief patterns here? Do I have painful habits here? Do I have no budget? Do I have no goal or intentions? Like, what is limiting me here? And let me pour my energy into that instead. And if you want to do a deeper dive into that in your 7-day free trial, we have a Mastering Your Abundance Mindset course. It's all about auditing and reprogramming your relationship to money at the subconscious level. And it's really powerful for creating these major shifts. Number 5, remember that we are always moving towards the problem or the solution. Okay. So when you're in this pattern, realize like you comparing, you're just fighting the problem. Whatever the problem is in your life where you're feeling disempowered, you're fighting it and incidentally feeding it. when we can realize, okay, there's something I want here, or there's some kind of fixation I have here, there's some kind of focus here, and then we can move our energy to the solution. Like, oh, I'm comparing myself to that person who gets up earlier than me. Okay, clearly I want to like empower myself better and have a better morning routine. And then we can supplement our comparison by shifting it into a realization and then supplementing it with a strategy. Now we actually have this really powerful shift. So if we can have the awareness, oh, I'm comparing myself to this person here, we can recognize what that's actually about that we want to improve upon, and then create a strategy for ourselves. We allow ourselves to take a comparison that would be painful and diminishing of our sense of self and upgrade it into something that's empowering. And that is a really, really powerful thing to be able to do long term, and focuses you on putting your energy into feeding the solution instead of fighting the problem. And like I said, giving your energy away to nothing. Now, there's a lot more to say about this topic. There's ways to reprogram your belief patterns so that you don't feel like you're in a place where your self-esteem is diminished and you don't have these comparison patterns popping up. There's ways of understanding your personality needs and really getting to understand how that stuff works. Again, if you want to do a deeper dive into that, the self-esteem course inside PDS, the Discover, Embrace, and Fulfill Your Needs course inside PDS, and the Emotional Mastery and Belief Reprogramming course to really help you shift out of these belief patterns are all extremely empowering. I hope this makes sense. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.